Welcome back, guys. It's Joseph here once again from School of Trade. We're talking trading psychology in tonight's video newsletter. And I'll tell you, I have a very important topic to talk about tonight. And I think a pretty common problem that a lot of us have suffered from, at least at some point in our trading career. Why do we have this tendency to jump from strategy to strategy to strategy? For whatever reason, why can't we just buckle down and focus and master one strategy? Because after all, if we just applied ourselves, we'd probably be successful no matter what strategy that we choose to use, right? So why do we waste time and really lose money by jumping around, chasing shiny objects, chasing perfection? This is a pretty common problem. I got a bunch of emails about this last week, and tonight I'm going to give you a simple 3-step process to overcome that kind of habit of chasing or jumping two different strategies, wasting time and losing money. And believe it or not, I'm going to show you how to make it fun in the process as well. All right, I'm going to cover all the details in this video tonight. If you have a problem with jumping from strategy to strategy, if you're wasting time in your trading career, if you're sick of treading water in your career, you're going to definitely want to watch tonight's video. I'm excited for it too. Hope you are. Let's get it started. All right, guys, let's get right into it here this evening. Today we're talking about a problem that I think a lot of people suffer from, something I call strategy jumping. And today we're going to talk about how chasing shiny objects usually leads to empty pockets, or in this case, margin calls and empty trade accounts. So here's the question I got a few weeks ago, and I really appreciate you guys sending me your trading psychology questions so I can make videos like these. This is a really common question I've heard a lot lately. And he says, help, I'm trading too many strategies. I have the bad habit of changing strategies too often. I probably could be successful if I just focused on one strategy and put in the time. But I'm always getting distracted by other strategies, other markets, different indicators, etc. He says, I really like variety. I love to learn, but I'm wasting too much time. I'm losing money on my trades, and I got to get focused and I got to get my trading on track. How do I break this bad habit, right? How do I stop this bad habit of changing up my strategies when times get tough? You know, I have to say, this is probably one of the most common excuses I hear from traders who are either losing money or never getting anywhere, in their trading career. I hear this all the time. I've been in the markets for 15 years and I've never found anything that works. Whenever I hear that, the first thing I always think is what have you been doing this whole time? But, all kidding aside though, this is a pretty common problem, and I think it can be fixed if you understand why it's happening and use this really simple 3-step plan that I'm going to outline in this video. So first, I'll talk about why strategy jumping is such a big problem, right? We'll talk first about why this, term strategy jumping is a problem. Then I'll talk about why it happens to hardworking, disciplined people and why it's so hard to focus and master one trading strategy. Then I'll show you how a simple 3-step process can break this habit for good. And also, too, as a bonus, I'll even show you how to make this process fun throughout the entire process. So make sure you watch all the way to the end to get that bonus towards the end. All right, let's start first by talking about why this is such a big problem for anyone looking to make consistent money in the financial markets as a trader. First, I think we've all heard this saying before, a jack of all trades is a master of none. It's true in life, it's true in business, and it is certainly true in trading. If you try doing everything, you usually don't do anything very well. And this has become a big time problem in the age of, instant Google searches, social media, and really just, endless information on demand. Think about it, guys. You can learn a little bit of everything with just your iPhone right now, can't you, right? It's easy to become and get sucked into that kind of, being a jack of all trades and a master of none. The reality is this. The difference between winning and losing in the markets usually comes from making split-second decisions when price action is moving quickly. And that takes confidence, right? You can't make split-second decisions if you don't have confidence, and it's impossible to build that confidence in anything if you never stick through with it, right? If you don't put in the time. Think of a magnifying glass for a moment, right? Let me grab a picture of a magnifying glass, right? Think of a magnifying glass. When you focus the sun's rays through a magnifying glass, what happens? It becomes really powerful, right? So we need to focus our energy like that magnifying glass. We can't try to learn everything because if we do, we'll never harness enough power to really make an impact in our trading. This is why I hear from people who have been in the markets for, 14, 15 years. They know everything about everything, but they really don't know what a good trade looks like, or how to find an edge, or how to maximize a winning trade. That's why this is a problem. We spread ourselves too thin, jumping from strategy to strategy and strategy, and we're never able to really master anything. So why does this happen? Why is it so hard to break this bad habit and focus on one thing? Well, let me show you why. Let's talk about why traders have a hard time breaking this habit. First, I think a lot of people are searching for perfect. They want a 100% winning strategy without any risk, no losing trades, and the minute they take some heat or they have a bad week or a tough afternoon, they assume their strategy doesn't work and they go back to YouTube looking for another guru to show them another magic, never lose special indicator, right? And they're off to the races with something new that will eventually end up become losing as well. I think this also bleeds into a lack of determination. Some people may not expect perfect, but they cut and run as soon as things get tough. I've unfortunately met a lot of people who do this over the years. Everything looks great at first, but once they have to dust themselves off and get through some challenges, they give up and they go running to try something new, right? Something that's supposed to be easier. Boy, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news on this, but there will be tough days as a trader. And you will need to get back on the horse and get through them. Yes, trading is fun, and yes, it's exciting, but sometimes it's painful, and you got to push through that. And remember, don't forget, I have a solution for this, right? I'm not saying this is easy, but I have a solution for this, so don't give up on me yet, right? Let's keep watching here. Now, next up, I also think people jump strategies because they get bored. They want that dopamine rush that we get when we learn something new and something exciting. It actually happens in our brains. It's easy to see why a hard day in the markets can lead to a YouTube search for the best indicator for scalping, and all of a sudden you're going down some rabbit hole and buying into another get-rich-quick trading idea that eventually will lead you right back in the same position, right? All kidding aside, though, if you're looking for excitement in the markets, go to a casino. Go to Las Vegas. Go to Atlantic City. Go to Monte Carlo. At least they have music, right? Drinks, dancing. It's going to be a whole lot more fun than trying to get your excitement from the markets. And I'll tell you, it's probably a lot less expensive once you add up all the losses, right, you take when you're trying to go after excitement in the markets. But guys, the markets are work, and trading is hard. Professional traders don't trade for the excitement. They trade because they love the process. And the profits are the byproduct of that process. The process. Remember that. I'm going to touch on that idea of the process a little bit later in this video. So make sure you keep on watching. Now, this also blends into another reason people jump different strategies. They don't have the focus muscles. Now, I've talked about this in previous lessons, right? A couple previous lessons. I'll drop a link for you guys in the upper right-hand corner for some previous videos I've talked about regarding our focus muscles. We live in a distracted world between having busy lives, smartphones that make us stupid, social media, chat rooms, phone calls. Most of us live in a constant state of distraction. On top of that, we drink too much coffee, which affects our sleep, and it snowballs quickly. As I mentioned in previous videos, building your focus muscles means eating well, getting enough sleep, turning off the phone, blocking websites that you waste time on, leaving the chat rooms, and focusing on whatever task you have in front of you for an extended period of time. Building your focus muscles is a lifetime. It's a lifestyle shift. It's not easy at first. Combine that with mindfulness work like meditation or yoga, and you'll build those focus muscles pretty quickly. So the next time you're trading, and things aren't as exciting as you want them to be, you'll have the strength to stay focused and not go searching Google or going back to social media in search of another shiny object, right? Or a fresh hit of dopamine. Now, speaking of shiny objects, I'm going to talk about shiny objects more as we go deeper into this video. So stay focused over there. Keep watching here. We're not done yet. And lastly, speaking of living a focused lifestyle, I think a lot of people jump strategies too often because they simply have too many voices in their heads. You know, I just spoke to a student of mine about this very last week, and he had way too much going on. Too many indicators, too many charts, too many ideas floating around, too much of everything, really. So I asked him, how many newsletters do you get delivered to your inbox every day? And turns out he had over a dozen different gurus in his ear every single afternoon, all telling him different things using different tools with different strategies. So I told him, go unsubscribe from all that other stuff you're getting right now. Don't worry, they'll be there if you need them in the future. But right now, we gotta focus on my 3-step strategy because it really works if you work it. Don't get distracted by whatever the indicator of the month is or whatever shiny object you think is an easy solution, because it usually isn't. And that's great advice, right? If you're having a hard time sticking to one strategy, get all those voices out of your head. Unsubscribe from their newsletters, remove the alerts on your cell phone, and let's focus on one trading strategy. I recall one of my favorite mentors a long time ago once telling me, and he said, Joe, you can do anything you want in this life, just not at the same time. Isn't that profound? That's exactly what we need to think about when we're trading. Let's focus our energy like that magnifying glass on one strategy, like my 3-step strategy. It works if you just work it, but you can't work it if you have too many things going on, right? If you're not focused, you got too many things going on in that head of ours. So that's why we jump from strategy to strategy. We have unrealistic expectations. We lack the determination to push through the tough stuff. And we don't have the focus muscles because we have too many distractions nonstop all day long. So now let's get into the good stuff, right? Now you know why we do it. How do we solve this problem? This is the good stuff. Let me show you. Let me show you a 3-step process that I used, and I've helped literally thousands of my best clients use to overcome this problem and really master either my trading strategy or any trading strategy that you want to use. Now, first and most important, you got to know your why. Now I know. I almost didn't use this term why. I know it sounds corny. I know it's completely overused, but it really is true. Trading is hard work. It's hard work. It's tough on your mind and it's tough on your emotions. And it can be really expensive if you don't stay focused and do it the right way. If you don't know why you're getting up early, if you don't know why you're staying late or working weekends or dealing with the stress of having money on the line, you're never going to push through the hardest parts at the beginning of your career. Now, let's be clear. Hold on. Your why only works when you can see it, when you can taste it, when you can smell it, when you can hear it. I hear way too many people say, oh, my why, I want to provide for my family, or I want to have the freedom to do whatever I want with my time. That's great, right? That's great. And yes, trading will give you that freedom, right? And the ability to provide for your family. But give me some specifics, right? Give me some more. What's your day going to look like when you're consistently profitable? What bed are you waking up in, right? Where are you living? How are you spending your free afternoons when you've reached your daily goal? What car are you picking up your kids in soccer practice with, right? What vacations are you taking, right? Give me some specifics. Get me excited. I want to taste it. Don't just say, I want a better life. Don't just say, I want to determine my own time. Don't just say, provide for my family. We know that. What does that really look like? What does your day look like, right? For me, when I think about trading, I think about the freedom, right, to spend my day the way I want to. Not some boss, not some customer, right? What does that day look like for you, though? Make it vivid. How do you want to spend your day, right? Make a vision board or write it down and put it by your bedside or right on your desk to read first thing in the morning or right before you go to bed at night. But I'm telling you, make it vividly clear why you're pushing through these challenges at the beginning of your trading career. I'll tell you, it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier, but you got to put the time in up front. Why are you willing to do that? Make it vivid. You should be able to taste it. You should know exactly what you're working towards or working for each day. Next up, and enough, I'll move on from the Tony Robbins stuff. Although I love him, let's get to the real work here. Once you know your why, now you need to fall in love with the process, not the profits. In my experience, successful trading requires morning preparation. It requires discipline to execute the rules. And it requires time for review at the end of the day and at the end of the week. Knowing your why will help you push through the hard stuff. But I'll tell you, you can make the hard stuff so much easier if you learn to find enjoyment in it. Now, how do you do that, right? How do you find enjoyment in the process? How do you actually make this stuff fun? I'm glad you asked. You got to find the game inside the game. That's the secret. You know, I recall reading a story about a guy who worked in a factory for something like 40 years. And when he retired, somebody asked him, how do you work in such a boring job for so long and not go crazy, you know? And I'll tell you, anyone who's worked factory work knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, I found ways to make it fun. You know what he did? He found the game within the game. You know what he did? He would challenge himself to see how fast or accurately he could do his job. He found enjoyment in setting a new personal best or finding ways to make the company, the factory, more efficient. Boy, no wonder they kept him around for 40 years, right? And I'll tell you, this can easily apply to your trading. Can you get so good at your morning prep that you accurately call what's going to happen that day? Can you be so disciplined that you improve your winning ratios by 2% this month? Can you increase your average winning size by 10% or cut your losses by 15%? That's how you make it fun. That's how you play the game within the game. You don't focus on the money, you focus on the process, and you challenge yourself to improve that process by 1% every single day. You know, once you know your why, and you kind of gamify the process, looking for ways to make it fun, you're not going to be tempted to jump strategies. You know, that's what I did. That's how I learned to trade almost 15 years ago. I found something that works. I geeked out and really dove into the process, fell in love with the morning prep, built my discipline through repetition each day, and found ways to improve my trading by 1% every day by finding and playing that game inside the game. And you know what? At the end of that really long process, I discovered that although the markets are pretty darn complicated, they really aren't that hard to trade and make money. In fact, there are really only 3 things you got to learn. Let me show you. I call this my 3-step strategy, and it's so simple. First, you got to know the market conditions that you're dealing with today. Yes, the markets are complicated, and yes, they're always different, but you can always classify them into one of 2 categories every day. I'll tell you right now, trading gets so much easier when you're trading with the correct conditions rather than against them. We don't trade the same way every single day in our trade room. We always start by adjusting to whatever type of market we're seeing that day, because that increases our odds of success and makes trading so much easier. So again, first, you got to know which type. There's only 2 types of markets, and you got to know which one you're dealing with to make the whole process easier. Then, once you know what type of market you have today, then you got to find support and resistance levels that work best in those conditions. Remember, only 2 types of markets, right, in step 1. Each of these markets have a specific set of support and resistance levels that work best. We don't use the same levels every single day. We adjust them based on the type of market that we're dealing with. It's very simple. In step 2, we use the right levels and we have a much better chance of making money. If we use the wrong levels, our trades are more often to fail. It's as simple as that. Step 2, find the right support and resistance levels that match up with the current market conditions. And then lastly, once you know your day type and you find your levels, then you want to focus on entries that give you an edge in the market that you're trading. Now, these entries use price action, never lagging indicators, and they're super easy to find because they usually happen in the same places and usually the same times almost every single day. Now, as you can see, this video is unfortunately getting a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I really want to teach you how to find that edge with this 3-step strategy. You know, it took me nearly 10 years of playing the game inside the game to learn how to simplify my trading into such a short 3-step process. But you know what? I can easily teach it to you in only a couple hours. So if you want to learn this 3-step strategy, but more importantly, if you're willing to commit and focus with me for a little bit, what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the upper right-hand corner for you, and you can take my free Quick Start Trading class and learn that 3-step strategy. I'll also toss a link in the description of this video so you can grab it there. So grab that link. Learn more about this 3-step strategy as part of our Quick Start Trading class. Commit to the process, and you'll be successful. I've helped a lot of people succeed in this strategy already, and I know you can do it as well. Wrapping things up, guys, if you like videos like these, please be sure to subscribe and make sure you hit that like button. And if you have any questions or any other trading psychology topics you want to see me cover in my next video, drop me a comment in the comment section below, and I look forward to helping you more in the next one. And again, grab that link up top. Again, I'll put that link up top there in the right-hand corner if you want to learn that strategy and really get serious with me inside our free Quick Start class. You'll be amazed how simple and fun this process can be if you commit and put in the work. But that's all for tonight. That's all for me tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Joseph. Be well out there. Be nice to each other and stay focused, all right? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.